Good morning, boys and girls. My name is Miss Tammy, and I'll be your host today. This is your teacher, Miss Ashley. Today we will learn about a group of hairy, milk-making creatures called mammals.
I'm Miss Ashley, and today's lesson is titled Live-Bearing Milk Producers. We have heard a little about mammals so far. Can you tell me any characteristics you know about mammals, Miss Tammy?
I think I remember that they are warm-blooded, they give birth to live young, and they have fur on their bodies.
That's right. Today we're going to learn about mammals.
I'm so excited to learn about mammals today, Miss Ashley.
Well, but before we begin, Miss Tammy, we need to talk about some vocabulary words that we're going to encounter as we do our read aloud today. So our first word is diaphragm. Miss Tammy, can you put that on the chart for us? Boys and girls, did you know that the diaphragm is a layer of muscle that separates the upper and lower body sections in mammals and creates a space for the lungs to expand when they breathe in oxygen?
Oh yes, I learned the other day in my yoga class that when we take a deep breath, our diaphragm contracts. Let's all do that together, boys and girls.
That sounds fun, Miss Tammy. Boys and girls, are you ready? Let's take a deep breath in.
That was fun, Miss Ashley.
It was. Okay, our next word is infancy. This is a very early stage of life in which mammals get nourishment from its mother's milk.
Oh, so when I was a baby, I was in the infancy stage of life, Miss Ashley?
That's right. We are considered infants when we are babies. Our next word is mammary glands. Did you know that mammary glands are milk-producing organs found in female mammals?
Oh, so a mama cow uses her mammary glands to produce milk for her calf?
That's right. Let's take a look at a video of a mama cow. Wasn't that great, boys and girls? What did you think, Miss Tammy?
That was awesome, Miss Ashley.
Well, our next word is marine.
Oh, I know what marine means. My cousin is a marine.
Well, Miss Tammy, in this text, marine means related to the sea.
Oh, you mean like a marine biologist?
Yes, Miss Tammy, a marine biologist. They work with animals in the sea. Do you know what the word stately means?
Stately. I think I do. Doesn't that mean impressive?
It does. Stately means something that is impressive or grand. Like this castle here is an impressive castle. It's very grand. We're going to add these onto our chart here. And our last word, boys and girls, it is terrestrial. Miss Tammy, did you know that terrestrial means pertaining to land as opposed to water?
Oh, I know that I am not terrestrial, Miss Ashley, because I love water.
Well, it's something like that. In this text, terrestrial is pertaining to the types of plants and animals that are around the water.
Okay. Thank you for that visual.
So, now we're going to learn about mammals. In the read aloud today, our friend Rattenborough, a mammal himself, will share with us the characteristics of mammals. Let's take a look. Today, we're going to talk about a group of animals that you already know a little something about, based on your own personal experience. Hilda Hippo is one of these, and I'm one of these. Remember our mnemonic?
I sure do. All my best friends represent vertebrates.
That's right, Miss Tammy. And the letter M in the word my stands for mammals. And guess what? You are mammals too. Can you name some characteristics of mammals?
We are warm-blooded vertebrates with hair.
That's right. I think you could help me teach this lesson. Let's begin with the name of this group, mammals. It comes from the Latin word mammalia. The word mammalia means a group of animals who possess mammary glands. Mammary glands, like we learned in our vocabulary, are milk-producing organs belonging to female mammals. When female mammals give birth, they secrete a nourishing substance, milk, to feed their young. That is one of the primary characteristics of mammals. We feed our young. So let's look at a mammal.
Oh, a mother and her baby rats. How wonderful is that?
A baby rat that has its mother nearby never has to raid or charge through garbage cans for food. He can stay inside where it's warm, enjoying a lovely liquid meal prepared by his mother's own body.
Aw, Miss Ashley, looking at that slide makes me a little sad. And I think back on the days when my mom always had a warm meal ready for me, before the days when I became adult and had to find food myself. Oh, excuse me, boys and girls. I just got lost in a lovely memory from my childhood. Please forgive me, and we'll get back to the slides about mammals. After all, the show must go on.
That's okay, Miss Tammy. So mammals have backbones. Everybody reach around and check out your back once more to make sure your backbone is still there. Does everybody feel it? Awesome. Of course it is. Without backbones, we wouldn't be able to sit up straight or hold our heads up in the air. And our spinal cords that house the nerves that send messages to our brains would be unprotected. So because we all have backbones, scientists call us what?
Vertebrates.
Very good. Reptiles, amphibians, and fish all have a relatively low metabolism, and as you've learned, are classified as cold-blooded animals. Like birds, mammals such as this horse here have a high metabolism, burning lots of energy to help them maintain a constant internal body temperature. What is the term that taxonomists use to classify mammals in terms of body temperature?
Oh, I know. We are all warm-blooded and we are covered in hair.
That's right. Mammals are covered in hair or fur. Some of us are hairier than others. Hilda hippo and other hippopotamuses don't look so hairy, do they? But you might remember that they do have a little bit of hair around their mouths and on the tips of their ears and on their tail. Let's take a look at a few of our other furry animals.
Oh, here is one of my favorite mammals. I love his stately long neck and envy his ability to reach high into trees to eat leaves and to see into a distance.
I'll bet that if I were as tall as a giraffe, I could spot my enemies more quickly. Does anyone know what this other animal is?
I do, Miss Ashley.
What is it, Miss Tammy?
It's a yak.
Yes, it is. Yaks need their shaggy hair and dense woolly undercoats to help keep them warm on the cold Tibetan plateau where they live. Boys and girls, guess what? It's question time. So we've read a lot of information so far about mammals. So now it's time to answer a few questions. The first question is, what word part is the same in the words mammalia, mammal, and mammary? What do you think, boys and girls? That's right. Miss Tammy, did you hear them?
I did, Miss
What'd
Ashley.
they say?
They said mama.
That's right. Our next question. What do all these words have in common?
Oh, I heard them, Miss Ashley.
What'd they say?
The boys and girls at home said they describe mammals.
All right. Our next one is, what are mammary glands? That's right, boys and girls. What did they say, Miss Tammy?
They said they are organs in mammals that produce milk.
Very good, boys and girls. Y'all are so smart. Now, let's go on with our story. Tigers and leopards have fur too. Look at this Bengal tiger and this beautiful snow leopard of Central Asia. Both of these cat species are on the list of endangered species, a list of animals whose numbers have dwindled due to the loss of habitats and overhunting.
Miss Ashley, do you mean that these are parts of the cat family?
They sure are. Furry bears come in all shapes and sizes and live in all different parts of the world. Look at this giant panda. He has many characteristics found among different kinds of bears: polar bears, black bears, grizzly bears, and sun bears.
Oh, the giant panda is a good example of an animal which has proven challenging to classify. Taxonomists have actually changed their minds about which animal it is most closely related to.
That's right, Miss Tammy. They used to classify the giant panda with the red panda in a group that included raccoons. Now, with the help of more modern scientific tools, taxonomists believe the giant panda is more closely related to bears, even though it eats mostly bamboo. Does anyone know what this is?
It's a squirrel.
You're close. It's a marmot, a type of squirrel. And here's another type of squirrel.
Oh, I know this one for sure. It's a flying squirrel.
That's right. These squirrels don't really fly, but they have two folds of skin on the sides of their bodies that let them take great leaps, gliding through the air with the help of their tails for steering. The only mammals that can truly fly are bats. They have skin between their long fingers that stretches out and turning arms into wings when they open. Bats may seem like birds, but they are not, because they do not have feathers. They actually have a fine fur, and they give birth to their young. I think you'll recognize these more common mammals, and I'll bet some of you at home have some of these furry mammals, don't you?
I do. I have Millie, and she is my fur baby. Would you like to see a picture of her?
I do. Oh, yes, she is so cute. Let's take a look at the fur on this cat. Now, that's what I call furry. This is a Maine Coon cat.
I must say, his fur puts Millie's fur to shame.
Most, but not all mammals are terrestrial. Remember on our definition it says that they live on land? Can anyone think of an aquatic animal? A mammal that lives in the water? I'll give you a hint, boys and girls. One of them is my friend Hilda.
Hilda hippopotamus in water?
Yes, Hilda lives in water. She loves the water. But they are actually semi-aquatic, meaning that they live partly in the water and partly on land. Usually, Hilda and other hippopotamuses stand in the water during the day to keep cool, and then they graze on the land when evening falls. Through recent study and discussion based on the data of a special computer equipment you just heard about, taxonomists now think that the closest living relatives of hippopotami are whales, which are fully aquatic mammals.
Oh, scientists used to think that hippos were the most closely related to pigs, but now new information from modern scientific tools is changing the way hippos are classified.
That's right, Miss Tammy. Whales are marine mammals, meaning that they live in the ocean. The blue whale is not only the largest mammal, it is the largest animal on Earth. Blue whales can grow up to 100 feet long. Boys and girls, that's a little longer than the basketball court. And its tongue alone weighs more than 3 tons.
3 tons? That's fascinating, Miss Ashley. Imagine that.
I know. Manatees and smaller whales such as dolphins and porpoises are also fully aquatic marine mammals. They share saltwater seas with walruses and seals. Semi-aquatic animals that like to wander on shore just like Hilda hippo does. Marine mammals are believed by many scientists to have evolved from land mammals, and they share many of the same characteristics. Boys and girls, guess what, Miss Tammy?
What, Miss Ashley?
It's question time. So we've read a lot so far, so let's ask some questions about what we read. In the read aloud, you heard that most mammals are terrestrial. What does that tell me about where they live? Can you help me, boys and girls? That's right. What does it mean, Miss Tammy?
I heard them say on land.
Very good. Next one. Do all mammals live on land? You're right, boys and girls. Did you hear that, Miss Tammy?
I did, Miss Ashley. They said no. Marine mammals live in the water.
Very good, boys and girls. I'm glad you've had your listening ears on throughout. Now, remember when we talked about how fish use their gills to breathe oxygen in from the water? Remember how in amphibians those gills develop into lungs, requiring amphibians to come to the surface of the water to breathe in air? Well, mammals also have lungs. All mammals have lungs and an underlying diaphragm that assists with breathing. When the diaphragm tightens, it creates more space in the lung cavity, and the air is drawn into the lungs. All mammals, including whales and porpoises, dolphins and manatees, must come up to the surface of the water now and then to take a breath like we do. Some mammals also live in fresh water. I want to introduce you to another semi-aquatic relative of mine. It's the capybara. He is classified as a rodent and likes to swim. The capybara can stay underwater for a full 5 minutes, boys and girls, without coming up for air, a feat that helps him escape his predators. Did you know that the capybaras are one of the favorite foods of anacondas like Anna? Another semi-aquatic mammal, also a rodent, is the beaver. It makes its home near rivers and with river otters. One of the most unusual semi-aquatic mammals is the duck-billed platypus. It has a large rubbery bill, like a duck, in the bird group, a flat, broad tail of a beaver in the mammal group, and reptilian webbed feet. This odd, venomous creature lives in Australia waters. The duck-billed platypus is unusual for another reason. It is one of only a few animals that lay eggs. Spiny anteaters, also native to Australia and nearby islands, are the only other egg-laying mammals. All other mammals are live-bearing, which means they give birth to live young.
Oh.
The young are nourished inside the mother's body, and most are fully developed when they are born, looking like smaller versions of their parents. A few, like kangaroos and possums, are part of a group of mammals called marsupials. Marsupial babies are very underdeveloped when they are born, but they move directly into their mother's protective pouch to be nourished by her milk. All mammals, whether hatched from eggs or born live, feed on their mother's milk at infancy. Question time, boys and girls. I know you've been listening. We've got 2 more questions for you. What is the main organ mammals use to breathe? What is it, Miss Tammy?
I heard them say lungs.
That's right. Remember, we use our diaphragm and we breathe it in. Who can tell me what this muscle is called right here And why is it important?
It was the diaphragm, Miss Ashley. It tightens and makes room for the lungs to expand. And then it expands in the lung cavity when an animal or human breathes out.
Very good. I have one more question for you, boys and girls. What do most mammals look like in infancy? Think about yourself. Did you hear that, Miss Tammy?
I did, Miss Ashley.
What did the boys and girls say?
They said a smaller version of their parents.
Very good. As warm-blooded animals with a high metabolic rates, mammals must eat more food than other animals their size in order to store enough energy to keep their bodies warm. So what do mammals eat? Think of all the different types of mammals that you've learned about today. Then think about your own diet. Do you eat the same foods as cats or dogs? Do elephants eat oranges? Do whales eat green beans? Mammals eat a variety of foods depending upon where they live. Some mammals are carnivores or meat eaters. Others are herbivores, eating only plants. Still others eat both plants and animals and are called?
Oh, they're called omnivores.
Remember learning that birds' beaks may provide clues to their diets?
I remember that, Miss Ashley.
The same is true of mammals' mouths. Wide mouths and sharp pointed teeth suggest that these mammals may be carnivores. Wolves, whales, and bats are all carnivores. Herbivores are more likely to have long jaws, long tongues, and flat teeth. Deer, sheep, and monkeys are herbivores. Omnivores, which include bears, possums, chipmunks, and mice. Many humans are omnivores too, but humans think about the choices they make when they eat. Think about what you eat at home, boys and girls. Think about your mouth. Do you think humans were designed to eat meat, only plants, or both meat and plants? That's right, boys and girls. Did you hear that, Miss Tammy?
They did. We all eat meat and plants because of our teeth.
Very good. So, now it's time to fill in our chart. So let's fill in our chart today, boys and girls. Now, let's see if we can remember everything we've learned today.
Oh, I remember these. I know that mammals are warm-blooded.
That's right. How about vertebrates and invertebrates?
Oh, vertebrate.
Do you know the body design and the habitat that mammals have, Miss Tammy?
Yes, our body design is an endoskeleton, and our habitat is on land and in water.
That's right. You are doing great. Do you know how mammals reproduce? Boys and girls, do you know this?
They do, Miss Ashley. They said we give birth to our young.
That's right. But do we have any pattern breakers that lay eggs? Yes, we do.
I heard them, Miss Ashley. They did.
And do we have any local animals that you can name, Miss Tammy?
Oh, and some local animals we have near us are humans and whales.
Next time, we'll look at the last of my slides. Be ready for a review of the 5 vertebrate groups of the animal kingdom: amphibians, mammals, birds, fish, and reptiles. I'm sure you're becoming quite skilled at classifying animals, and we'll get to know some fun facts about doing this. Can't wait to see you soon.
Thank you, Miss Ashley, for all of this wonderful information you have given us about mammals. And thank you, boys and girls, for your participation and hard work. All rights and credits for this lesson belong to Core Knowledge Language Arts. We would like to thank them publicly for sharing these materials. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.